In 1984, a steel skeleton rose from a burning wreck and changed cinema forever. In 1991, a liquid metal assassin walked through prison bars and set the standard for every visual effect that followed. And in 2026, the franchise that invented the Hollywood AI apocalypse is being hunted by the one thing it never predicted: its own obsolescence. Terminator 7 is not a movie. It is a last stand. James Cameron, the man who created Skynet, who birthed the T-800, who turned "I'll be back" into a global prayer, has returned to a battlefield littered with the corpses of his own sequels. And what he has found should terrify anyone who still believes in this brand. The body count is staggering. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, in 2003, made money but lost the soul. Terminator Salvation, in 2009, tried to show us the future war and was met with a shrug. Terminator Genesis, in 2015, was supposed to launch a new trilogy, with sequels scheduled for 2017 and 2018, until it underperformed so badly that Paramount ripped it off the release calendar and buried it in an unmarked grave. Then came Terminator Dark Fate in 2019, the film that was supposed to be the resurrection. Cameron came back as producer. Linda Hamilton came back as Sarah Connor. Arnold Schwarzenegger came back as the T-800. Tim Miller, the director of Deadpool, was handed the keys to the kingdom. And the result was a $122 million bloodbath. Dark Fate cost between $185 and $196 million to produce, plus another $80 to $100 million in marketing, and it grossed only $261 million worldwide. It needed $450 million to break even. It didn't even come close. The opening weekend was $29 million, the lowest in the franchise when adjusted for inflation. Audiences didn't just reject it, they actively forgot it existed while it was still in theaters. The creative fallout was even uglier than the financial one. Cameron and Miller fought bitterly over the film's direction, with Miller later admitting he would never work with Cameron again. The decision to kill John Connor in the opening minutes, a young boy murdered by a T-800 on a beach, was so controversial that it alienated the core fan base before the title card even finished. Critics called it a betrayal of the first two films' emotional core. Fans called it character assassination. And when the dust settled, the planned trilogy that Cameron had carefully mapped out, 3 films exploring the relationship between humans and artificial intelligence, culminating in a resolution between man and machine, died in a single weekend. The cancellation was a gut punch, because Zero had done what no live-action film since 1991 had managed. It made the franchise feel dangerous again. It introduced new figures like Aiko and Malcolm Lee, while expanding the mythology with emotional stakes and speculative ideas that didn't rely on nostalgia. Its loss removed the last creative lifeline. Netflix even offered him limited wrap-up episodes. He declined. He said his story could not be compressed into a short conclusion. And just like that, the best Terminator project in decades was terminated. Which brings us to 2026, and the man who started it all. James Cameron began writing Terminator 7 in February 2023. He put it on hold within months, not because of studio interference or budget disputes, but because of a problem no science fiction writer has ever faced. Reality became fiction faster than he could write it. In May 2023, Cameron told a crowd at Dell Tech World that he needed to see how real-world AI would develop before he could finish the script. By April 2024, he was still exploring the type of story he wanted to tell. By September 2025, he admitted he was still struggling. The biggest is, how do I stay enough ahead of what's really happening to make it science fiction? He asked. The creator of Skynet is now being outpaced by ChatGPT. The man who warned us about machine consciousness is watching Silicon Valley build it in real time, and the psychological weight of that is crushing. Cameron's schedule is a prison of his own making. He is chained to Avatar sequels through at least 2031, and he has admitted he won't truly plunge into Terminator until the dust clears on Avatar. That dust could take years to settle. Cameron has made a decision that is either genius or franchise suicide. He is burning the past to the ground. Arnold Schwarzenegger will not return. I can safely say he won't be in it, Cameron said in December 2025. It's time for a new generation of characters. I insisted Arnold had to be involved in Dark Fate, and it was a great finish to him playing the T-800. There needs to be a broader interpretation of Terminator and the idea of a time war and superintelligence. I want to do new stuff that people aren't imagining. Linda Hamilton, who bled for Sarah Connor across 4 decades, said in April 2024 that she is done. John Connor, the messiah around whom every timeline orbited, is dead and erased. There are no Connors. There are no T-800s. There are no catchphrases. Cameron is building from a blank slate, focusing on modern AI concepts, a time war, and a completely new interpretation of what a Terminator even is, ditching the traditional iconography that made the franchise a religion. Rumors suggest a possible plot following a wanderer named Stan Paxton in 2029, surviving the aftermath of Judgment Day in a desolate cityscape where the resistance fractures even as the fight against Skynet persists. But Cameron himself has not confirmed this. As of early 2026, the script is still being written. There is no green light. There is no release date. There is no production start. There is only James Cameron, alone in a room, trying to outrun the future he invented. The franchise has become its own worst prophecy, a machine that keeps rebuilding itself, keeps coming back, keeps refusing to die, even as the world around it has moved on to newer, brighter apocalypses. Cameron is the only creator who ever made this work. He gave us the original, he gave us Judgment Day, and now, alone in a room with a laptop and a deadline that does not exist, he is trying to prove that 1984 was not a fluke, that the future is not set, that there is no fate but what we make. But the screens are dark, the audience is gone, and somewhere, in the space between a promise and a green light, the T-800's red eye slowly fades to black. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to understand that the greatest war the Terminator franchise ever faced was not against Skynet. It was against time itself, and time, unlike the T-800, does not come back.